it'll go at natural height.
Oh yeah.
Right. Because right now you're doing a picky clean shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't want any more picky clean shit.
No more of that.
You are now watching a fitting.
Almost. Not a boy.
For Dirty Mart.
What's that?
We
commentating over there?
yeah, commentating.
You should do it in your dad's voice.
All right, now.
Yep,
we're down here at the Trevino
kind of a double dip,
Golf Institute.
This is a bit of a double dip. We got a swing fix going in the midst of a club fit. Only a superior athlete like this could handle having two things like this to
a double curveball thrown at him.
He's got pretty good action on a double wristing. I've seen it before. So I mean, I think he might be able to make it.
I've given a couple double wristers in my day when needed.
Absolutely.
What is the fix that we're working on?
So as I see it, I think what he's doing is he's basically, the simplest definition is he's over opening the face as he goes to the top of the swing. And now he's left holding the bag on a face is about 20 degrees open. So he was instructed to feel like Dustin Johnson at the top.
Got it.
It looks like Anthony Kim at the top.
But
he's feeling Dustin
deviated
Johnson,
septum and all.
and he's getting Anthony Kim in the process. And he's hitting the ball speed jumped almost 15 miles an hour.
Yeah.
That's a pretty substantial deal. You'll see this number here. He was starting off in the 110s and 112s, which is basically a powder puff width for a man of his, caliber.
Oh, he was getting ready to say stature.
Pedigree is the word we're going to use.
Yeah. There's a lot of tire pumping going on right now.
I hope I'm going to get a tip for this at the end of the day, but yeah, we need him up in the 120s, even I would argue 120. If he wants to be playing with Verdon and keeping up with him, I need the ball speed at 125 and 7.
Oof. Well, 118 is a lot better than 1.
So I'll take 120 to 125 as the buffer zone for the ball speed on the 7.
So as a perpetual amateur, is that shaft or is that working out strength or what?
Yeah, so that would have to do with solidness of contact and speed, right? So those two things would sit at the top of the pyramid. And then what he ends up getting out of 121 miles an hour of ball speed is the shaft, right? The shaft and the club head mixed together is what the ultimate performance of the ball flight would be.
So the rule of thumb is have the shot worked out, the swing worked out before you get a fitting for shafts or
Johnny showed up
else.
in golf shoes to interview us. You know that. I didn't even get golf shoes.
Hey, look here, you sons of bitches. I just came from Montrose Trackman Lounge. I got a little 18 in today.
Oh, they allow golf shoes in there?
Yeah, they do allow golf shoes in here. Soft spikes.
Can't hide money.
Hey, look here.
Does Hidden have a lounge room with Trackman?
Hey, they do not. They do not.
He and I just guessed at the member guests. All we do is show up and win.
That's true. That's true. We are guests. That's true.
We don't know how the other.
You can't have you knuckleheads running around there full time.
I don't doubt it. I'm lucky they let me through. I thought they asked me for my lawnmower last time I came to the gate. So obviously, we're dealing with a guy this isn't his first rodeo. He knows what he's doing with the golf club, but even good players get off kilter in their swings and their mechanics. And then they start overcompensating in different things to try to make up for it. And at this point, with the face being so open at the top, I just don't think there's any kind of recovery move he could have done to get the ball speed back to where it needs to be. So he's going to have to be cognizant of that. And then we can start.
And it honestly kind of stems from like a baseball feel, right? Where like you are open and that first move is here instead of down.
Correct.
And I think that's 100% why.
Correct.
It feels like that.
I'm not here to plug another company, and I think it's
plug away. Some
of the technologies that we're dealing with these days are a pain in the ass. But there's a company called Hack Motion, HACK. That's a wrist sensor that fits on your glove, and it shows you the 3 different deviations of the wrist. It shows you radial and ulnar deviation, which is, for layman terms, wrist cock and unloading. Then it shows you supination, pronation. Then it shows you flexion, extension. So the 3 little wave graphs that they have on there shows you what the DNA of your wrist looks like in the midst of your swing. And then you can compare that data to a person's swing that they have already on file. So it's kind of cool, like a DJ, a Rory, somebody like that. You can see where Rory's got a really strong left-hand grip. It's got a lot of cup in his wrist at address.
Yeah.
But you look at, and then when Rory hits a ball, he'll actually come back to that certain level of cup. That's why, with all due respect to Rory, he's a great player. He's a pretty shitty wedge player, not a fantastic wedge player, because most good wedge players are flattening the wrist. Look at John Rahm at Impact. His wrist is in about 10 degrees of flexion.
Yeah.
And you look at Rory's and he's about 10 degrees of extension. So Rory's hitting glorified scoopers and Rahm is hitting these compressed low ones, right?
Yeah, I feel like that technology would just say, stick to hockey, but
it might. But for him, he could say, hey, if I'm working on getting my wrist from, because if he hit a few scarpy cuts, it'd give him that look at what the wrist looks like, a snapshot of, hey, here's what your wrist looks like at impact when you're hitting a skank fade, right? And then if as he starts to hit them better and better, it'll show the improvement in how the wrist is going from super, super cocked back like this to more flexed and down.
Okay.
Right?
That makes a lot of sense.
And so I think sometimes in a golf lesson, the attachment to the club is being undersold. And everybody's talking about the hip turn and shoulders and and weight transfer. It's like he could stand on one leg and get his wrist in the right spot and he'd be hitting it further than if he did a full weight transfer swing.
Okay.
Right. So we need to appreciate the fact that the attachment to the club is vital, and your understanding of how to use your wrist is massively important.
Did you get all that?
It's in the locker.
Yeah.
So we're going to go through this one you've already kind of, a good player tends to like what they like.
Yeah.
So this has got enough meat on it to hold you. It still even though it's a graphite shaft and it's going away from your traditional steel stuff, it's seamless and stepless, just like your Project X was.
Yeah.
But it's lighter and it's just as stiff, right? So that's a little bit why you're liking it. I'm going to take you to this guy here, which is this TaylorMade PCB7 CB. So this is what Morikawa is hitting right now. Rory had these in the bag, just went back to his blades.
Okay.
You've got your new shaft for this year, which is the Dynamic Gold 115. This is a mid trajectory shaft, 115 grams, and it's in a stiff, nothing fancy, not super stiff, not weak. But this is a very, very nice golf club that most of your 4 handicaps or less would be playing. Very respectable golf shot there. Ball speed 117. Now, the old days when CJ was in his prime, they used to do, when launch monitors first came out in the early 2000s, they didn't really, you just kind of knew what you liked and what you didn't like. So if you were a Jack Nicklaus, you liked to watch the ball rise up into the air really high and then fall down softly, right? And if you were more like a Lee Trevino, you wanted to see a bullet and go something low. So a Lee Trevino would play a significantly stiffer shaft than a Jack Nicklaus, believe it or not, right? And so that they just liked what they like, and all the balls were spinny as hell anyway. So they didn't really know how to control the spin, right? So nowadays, when they started first coming out with these launch monitors, they started to attach a number to a club that gave you a specified parabolic flight that allowed your distance charges to be different between each club.
Yeah.
Right. And so the early definitions of this was, if you were hitting a 7-iron, you wanted 7,000 RPMs of spin. And if you were hitting an 8-iron, you wanted 8,000 RPMs of spin, so on and so forth. So you're just increasing it by 1,000 every club. And now what they're doing, because every manufacturer is now trying to cheat the system, they're strengthening the lofts of the clubs. The balls are spinning less than they ever have, and the shafts are stiffer, and the centers of gravity of the club are higher. So now basically you could get a 7-iron. Bryson's 7-iron spins at 4,200. Jack Nicklaus
is what, 4-iron
probably spun. I'm not kidding you. Jack Nicklaus 7-iron probably spun at 7,000, right, or 8,000, right? And so Bryson's got 4,000 less RPMs of spin on his 7-iron, and it's the loft of Jack Nicklaus's 4-iron in his heyday. Bryson's 7-iron was Jack Nicklaus's 4-iron, which is why Bryson hit 7-iron from 230, and Jack Nicklaus used to hit 4-iron from 230. Right. So it's the same shit. It's just they've now
painted a different number on the bottom.
Decreased the lofts, and now every company out there can say, my clubs go the farthest, and my clubs go the farthest.
That's interesting.
The safe play for me when I'm fitting people, especially in this town, is I like the spin at about 1,000 less than the club. So you can see here, he's hitting a 7-iron and he's spinning the ball at 6,500, right? Now, that was a bit of a whiff for him. He didn't hit that one good. And the reason I know was because the ball speed deflated down to nothing.
Back to 101.
He's down in Bitchville again.
Down in Bitchville.
Powder puff Bitchville. So I can already tell that this is not like a super great golf club for him. So I'm gonna take this one out of his hand.
Agree.
Yeah, it looks a little whiffy.
We're gonna put him in this new Mizuno product. So this is brand new for this year, 2026. Does that say M13 on it?
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
So the Mizuno irons though, like they kind of stick to the traditional lofts though, right?
Yeah,
like,
I don't know if he can stick
pitch a wedge is a 46, not a.
I don't know what camera he can stick that up to for people to see it, but
he can go right to the one right up there.
This is a beautiful iron. And they even did a cutaway where they did a front angle bounce removal, where they're allowing the club to come through the turf a little bit better. But this is about as good as it gets in terms of the visual looks of a golf club.
Yeah, no, it looks like the freaking.
I still have a set of MP4s.
And I think Mizuno's doing a strong push this year across the board. They're trying to come in with the big boys and really get it. He's fighting the swing mechanics right now. He doesn't like that left wrist feel.
Nope.
So he's rushing it from the top a little bit. So I got to get him to
slow it down.
Give me a little Siwoo Kim or a little Sam Snead here. You got to give me a little nod.
What a tall order. Can I get a little Sam Snead?
Yeah, give me a little Sam Snead in here. The famous CJ line is you got to be athlete.
Got to be an athlete.
You got to be an athlete.
Be an athlete.
Again, when you look up some of these things, we can see that. And this takes a big man of him. He's hitting these whiffers to right field, right? And so there are times, and I'm not saying this is one of them, there are times where people come in for club fittings and I got to be honest, like their face to path differentials are just too great. It wouldn't matter what club I pick. I'd be, picking a needle.
I feel like that would be me. No, I'm serious.
So sometimes you got to just go with what looks good to a player and what when they put a good swing on it will just work.
Yeah.
Like at this point, none of us are tour pros. I can get you pretty damn close after I watch you make 10 swings.
Yeah. My buddy Dominic's like, I don't even know how. He's like, maybe you're just athletic enough to get the club head back around to hit it flush. He's like, but what you just did
defies everything.
Defies grab. The fact that ball went straight or landed on the green was a miracle.
The grip's a little thinner.
Yeah.
It's probably too thin for you if I was being honest.
Yeah.
Shaft's a 120 stiff. So it's something that you're kind of accustomed to, but in my opinion, you're trying to get away from it. Ball speed's trying to climb. So in this case, if we were trying to get CJ an extra 15 yards, I'd want to see this spin in the high 5,000s or right around 6,000. Right. We're going to switch this up one more time. I'm going to put you in this Ping product 240. Which one is this? 115 stiff, so slightly less. I actually like this club. I think this is a sleeper club for CJ for a little bit of forgiveness. He doesn't have to hit it so perfect. The footprint is a little bigger than probably what he's accustomed to, but it's a clean bigger. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
Like for being a bigger club head, it's not ugly.
It's not a.
It has a nice
tin can lid.
It doesn't have that matte finish on the top, so the top line, even though it's wider, doesn't look as.
Didn't hit it good,
fat.
but it's still.
Now it'd be really beneficial at some point if TJ hits a decent fucking shot, so we're not here like trying all these clubs.
It's all right. I got jokes for days. We can keep going.
You take a chug of something, but but feel free to hit the center of the club face whenever you want. There's no harm in that.
It helps with the fitting.
Okay, the 116 again. So far, the Shrixon with the graphite shaft has given him the best ball flight.
You're getting closer, slightly closer to the center of the face.
Now, real quick, whether we want to judge. Now, I don't tend to judge shots when they're hit too far off the center. TrackMan does a good job of placing the impact location of the club because it does skew the numbers when you're not on the sweet spot. But right away, we would see this. We would see this at 76, almost 7,700. I would automatically throw this in the trash for him. Because if it's spinning 7,000 at this altitude, it's spinning fucking 9,000 at.
Yeah. So does that mean the ball's just going?
It would just rise.
Yeah, rise.
Get no power out of it.
So this one's a no.
We know that this shaft is combo is not a great combo.
Yeah, you can actually see it from the launch angle. Like,
Yeah, see 7,000 again.
Yeah.
Just now, what that probably means is the shaft could be a little too soft, or it could be a little bit of that.
Little trombone on that
Now,
one.
here's interesting. So we're going to do the exact same club head, but I'm going to lower the gram weight 15 grams. So now he's going to go into a lower weight steel shaft, and let's see what that does. One thing I've learned.
So he's got 100. He's got 100-gram stiff shaft right now.
100 grams.
100 grams stiff,
which is light in the steel world. Very, very light.
Is this one of them steel fibers?
This damn, I've never seen anything that the shit that's supposed to work on paper. I swear to God, 70% of the time, if I blind fitted a guy based on playing 18 holes with him, the stuff that's supposed to work never works.
So golf is truly a game of opposites.
It could be
on paper as well.
It very well could be. $118. Look, and look how the spin dropped. In this case, I know it's mice nuts, but it did drop. 500 RPMs on a lighter weight shaft.
Is that same club? Is that blueprint or
no? It's the
concept or
I-240.
Okay.
Just I need you to trade out some shafts. Can you get this? I want this steel fiber in the 770. Yeah. If draw it. I don't know where the tool is.
Way off the low toe.
Coop's going to be, as CJ is your assistant,
yeah,
that's right. To help get through this with the most least amount of friction possible. Everyone caters to the prince around here.
That's you,
Mr. Mert. Now, another thing too that I would mess with is at address, I've got your right arm way on top of your left arm.
Okay.
Right. So, and at impact, you know that those worlds would be switched. Right. So nobody at impact's coming in with their right arm on top of their left arm.
Okay.
So if you can figure out how to, I know you like to keep your right hand on top of the shaft like that, which I like too, but you got to find a way to level out these forearms a little bit.
Okay.
Because if you keep coming in this way, it's just gonna keep diving the path to the left.
Okay, so keep it back here almost.
Oh, it feels weird. I can't tell yet. He's missing everything right. He's leaving everything.
I can't wait. So we're gonna do this again, and ladies and gentlemen, I just want you to remember all the balls that look like they go straight for him, and I'm spraying them, hitting the center blocks over there, left and right and center.
I hit a center block.
Just remember this moment.
He's got what we call a Tokyo drift to the right. He's taking his Nissan 300Z and he's Tokyo drifting.
He's drifting that boy. Yeah, just hitting well off the toe.
Now, not a bad feeling club, right?
No.
I like the 105 for you better than I like the other one.
Yeah.
And the strange part is that of all when you see this red stickering, this is what a lot of guys on tour are playing. And they tend to play this shaft a lot, and they tend to play the 120X. Very few guys play the 130, and very few guys play the 115 or the 110.
So what's the main difference between that? Because you're playing the LZs right now, right? Which is a lower kick point. Should send the ball a little bit lower anyway. What's the difference? Is that a mid kick?
Every shaft company is claiming that they have their little hidden technology. When you really look at the fluting of the shaft and the stepping of the shaft, they're all going from fatter to thinner. So I think a lot of it's marketing. I'm not sure it's that, but if a guy, there is certain degrees of the way a guy throws a club head at a ball, since we're all loaded coming down and we're all throwing it at some point, just the way the shaft unfolds for some people, it just feels better. And some of it's psychology. They played it for a long time and they think it's better,
that's true though. But when
I think the one he built you's behind you.
The any other shaft I hit before I hit that LZ, ballooned.
Okay.
And then I finally started hitting it. That low kick point feels funky, but now anything I hit feels completely different outside of that.
Not to cut you off, but before he hits this one, don't hit yet. If I was knowing he was coming in today and knowing what he told me he's looking for, if I was to fit him blind, just by knowing who he is and playing golf with him a couple times, this would have been the club that I said, you should buy this shaft and this head, and I guarantee you'll get an upgrade out of it. Now, I still stand behind this shaft. I'm curious to how he's going to hit this
I
shaft.
like it. The
But
shaft
this
is
the one. So if we wanna get some
$299
stuff,
per
this is your
club.
pick.
I'm going to call him early. I'm gonna
This
call
is
him.
your pick.
$300 shafts.
He's going to get 20 ball speed.
I made a shank on Commander here.
Yeah. Go ahead. Do it for me.
Dude,
But this would have been the one I would have picked for him out of the just blind pick.
Is he coming
Same
in at
thing. I'll have to
5,500?
Show a little face. If I'd hit
Got
that,
the spin in the low 6,000s where I want it. He hit that I already got almost 117 ball speed off of a
miss. That was an absolute air ball in the
Right.
face.
So I'm already barking up the right I'm barking up the right street here.
Does this guy know what he's doing or what?
Now this is called steel fiber.
Oh, dude, my dad is going to love this.
That was yoked left.
Aerotech steel fiber.
Dude, my
95
dad
grams.
swears by steel fiber. He's down into like 65 gram steel fiber at this point.
Yeah,
He's like
this is
70.
95 grams.
Okay.
Right? Standard stiff. I got one set. Look at that spin rate. 5,700. I swear to God, if we need to go to commercial break for him to take a shot of something.
So with the steel fiber and the, less strength in the flex down to 95, how's that going to affect his ball speed versus like if we could all master swinging the club at the same speed every time? How does the lighter shaft and more flexibility affect the ball speed?
So ball speed ultimately is an equation of the swing speed that you can produce mixed with where you're hitting it on the face. So golf clubs are designed to give you the most bang for your buck the closer you hit it to the middle. So the shaft's job is
I
to
haven't
help
found
you hit
yet.
it closer to the middle, right?
Hey, look at that
Shaft's
last one.
job-
You're gaining on it, brother.
So he's got a little toe love going. But look at these. Now, the one thing about this is, look, when he did leave the face a little open on two different swings, we didn't see a massive inflation in spin. So that's another thing that makes me want to stand by this club is that when he's not making his best swing, I'm not getting a massively inflated result off of it, right? So that's another thing we're looking for in a golf club is that when you do your job versus not doing your job, the differentials are very small.
And this is still that ping? Same head?
This is now the 770 TaylorMade.
Okay.
You like that, right?
Hollow body, yep. But with this steel fiber shaft in it. Now, the cool thing about steel fiber, you can put it in any head he wants.
There it is.
I'm throwing this 770 at him right now, but he could put it in the Strixon and probably be a pretty good combo for him. Now, look at that. Now, I hate to say it. That's, again, a little bit of an air ball, but I got 118 on the ball speed. I've still got that face open, but he's keeping the spin under control, right? And he's still getting a respectable carry. Like I really want him. I want him to flush it at 190, and I want him to miss it at 185. Is where I'd like to have the 7-iron before we leave today.
All right. Definitely need a drink break for that move. Oh. That's where it's at right there.
Now we're talking.
There you go.
What a difference.
See what
That was nutted.
Yeah.
right? So again, dude, this isn't my first rodeo either. Like CJ with drinking, it's not his first rodeo. So like, this with me is where I live. I would feel very confident putting a lot of good players in this golf club. The only thing CJ would have to come to grips with is, does he like the way the ball is? Because some people of his that play as good as him, they don't like the catapult feeling of a springier face. They like the milled feeling of a solid face.
Yeah.
Because that's what they grew up on,
Mhm.
right? Some guys that are just like the ego trip of hitting the ball as far as everybody else, they don't give a shit about the precision of making the ball go.
No, I'm right there with you. I played all my dad's MP, everything all the way down. I'm not even good enough to even hit them, but swinging a trash can lid versus swinging a milled blade is.
So what
looking at the
I
top
think with
line,
the
looking at the
7
top line is like
100%.
the biggest
CJ will
thing.
be the first to tell you that. Look at that.
Yeah.
Now that's my boy right there. Right now, I think you would agree for a forgiveness club, that's about as clean as a footprint.
Oh, dude, this is
So this is how to take the old world and the new world, and they merged it together to make a hot golf club that goes far. They made it look good, feel good, sound good, right? And you got all the forgiveness stuff in a golf club that you want, modern era, mixed with a high performing shaft. It's like you can't go wrong.
Let's do it. You know what? Buy 2 sets. I'll take one. You take the other. You're paying for both.
The difference is you got to cut it down 4 inches for your little ass to get on down.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, 100%. You want to learn. You want to know how to birth boys too. I can teach you that one too.
So now here's what I think. So let's do one more. He's been liking. So let's put both of these up against the camera. So these are the 2 clubs that he's hit the best, right? He's got the Srixon ZXi7, right, with the TGI KBS 100 gram.
Dude, they got you your own shafts. Huh?
Yeah, is that proprietary?
It's got your own.
But against this steel fiber 770. So let's go 3 and 3. Let's go 3 and 3, and then let's see what we get. And then we'll get on to some drivers.
Oh, what a nice one. Remember, I'm almost 50. I'm gonna need a little pick me up. That's for sure. A liquor, little open. Probably 116, 118.
It's got 118, stabilizing at 6,500 on the spin.
That's like 115,
117.
Yeah.
He's just off on this one a little bit. I think, would you agree that you lose just a subtle amount of the club head feel with that thicker shaft?
You do. Yeah, I agree 100%.
Yep.
It's weird too, because I was loving this.
Yep.
Until I figured, it took 5 or 6 cuts to figure that one out.
That's what people like in the steel fiber, is that you get a lot of stability in the shaft, but you don't lose the feel of the club.
That was good.
See, now there's his 121 ball speed, right? 6,000 spin. So the good part about CJ right now, or even this process, that I could give him either one of these clubs. It'd be a substantial gain from what he's doing now.
Yeah.
And now for him, it's just a player's thing. So now here's the plug for TGI. What I think TGI does differently than everybody else in the business is I would give him both of these clubs to go outside and play golf with. There's only so much we can do in this perfect laboratory. It does tell a very nice story of what's going on, but he doesn't need this. This story is just to narrow it down to what's good. Then he needs to take this shit out to where he plays golf. And that's where the rubber meets the road for good players.
No, 100%. I'm so steep. Sometimes I leave hitting indoors with like a back problem.
Yeah.
Like it's brutal.
Right.
It's brutal.
But like, I just think so many people are buying clubs indoors without even watching one set of ball flights outside on the course they play with the ball they play. And it's just an injustice. I mean, look at that sound, dude. He's just back. So it's this one.
Yeah. I mean, I do. So my dad's been after me about trying these.
And look at the
Go ahead.
6,100.
Yeah. So the faster just because he's bringing the heel of it, he's still on a cut trudge. So these numbers, these negative deviation numbers, there's nothing wrong with them. You got guys making $20 million a year with these numbers. If Brooks Koepka was in here, other than that would say 98 and not 87. This is exactly what a Brooks Koepka's numbers would look like. Colin Morikawa would look like that. Anybody on tour that's playing a fade on TrackMan, this is what their numbers are going to look like.
Well, so let me ask you this. Does it feel like, when you're swinging a wedge and you have a very heavy club head, get through that rough, get through that, is it that kind of shaft where you feel like you have a very heavy kind of
I don't think
get
so.
around?
You'd have to ask him. I think the head's just heavy enough to where you can sense where it is.
Even a fat one was at 115.
Yep.
I mean, the numbers aren't there, but I could feel where I dipped in on that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, CJ would have to tell me from a line goal perspective, due to the fact that he's a cutter, he's coming in a little steep. We'd normally kick the line goal up just a little bit to 1 degree upright because he's not a super tall guy.
100% what those are.
Yeah. So I'd probably put him in a 1 degree upright line goal. I'd probably give him 1 degree strong on the loft just to give a little bit extra spin rate differential, right? And then he would tell me whether the grip needs to be, you know, skinny, thick, how thick, you know, that kind of
little
stuff.
pull there.
His best shots, no question, are this, and I think he's already sensing that he can work the ball a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, now if you had to hit a little bender around a tree.
So this is the grip that
Yeah, so he's got the Ionics. They're built up. Not,
Is that
like,
what's that? That
this is
win?
at least 3 or 4 wraps.
it's 3 on a mid.
Is that win?
Yeah. So a little bit thicker grip.
Yeah.
So I would make sure that the one thing that people don't, at least in my opinion, they don't do in this town, Hummel does a good job of club fitting. I think we do just as good a job. I think we're also trying to do.
Shots fired.
What's that?
I said shots fired. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. But I think what we're doing is we're even talking about when a person likes to have a thicker grip up top, it's taking away from the back point of the club. And so just because a guy likes it doesn't mean it's good for him. Right. So like if it's starting to take away from the club head feel, right, then that's when I say, dude, like you got to tone it down or we got to add weights back to the club head, right? One or the other.
So I think if we go butt to butt, I think these are going to be an inch long. Yeah. So I went one long, one up, one over. Does that sound about right?
Yeah. Unless you're nursing some kind of weird back pain. That's
well.
Just old, but...
So let me ask you this, just to do a little comparison to hockey, right? So sticks in hockey have gone, like the technology is insane. It's $400 for a hockey stick,
you mean
right?
Hockey where we want to gold medal?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
look at that difference, dude.
Yeah.
20 yards.
So I my question is
20 yards.
You have a flex of a shaft.
Yep.
But for hockey sticks, you cut an inch off, you lose 5. So you go from a 77.
Hey, I need all the inches I can get, bud.
No. What I'm saying is, like, as you start to, if you're buying a 100-gram shaft, right?
Yep.
And it's an inch longer than the other 100-gram shaft, where is the flex actually at?
Good point.
Because on a hockey stick, if you buy 100 flex shaft,
same,
and you cut it down an inch, now it's a 105.
So you got to remember. So what?
Now it's a 110.
Yes.
Based on your height.
Yes. So what they're doing now, the companies, I would argue, the companies that want to matter in the world of golf are doing pre-flighted shafts. So it's not like you get all the shafts the same. They're already pre-flighted at the length they're supposed to play at with the weight they're supposed to have. Right. So,
is there like a standardized, so like the average, by the way, average male height is 5'9".
Yeah.
I'm 5'9 3/4 for everybody asking out there, whatever.
Whoa, short kings, calm down, buddy.
No, but what I was saying is, like, is that the average male height, the standard of whatever it is? And then as the club length.
Yeah, I think some of it is again, a person wanting to achieve something in their swing plane, a person's wrist to floor measurement based on how their natural anatomy. Some guys have long legs, short torsos. Some guys have short legs and long arms. You know what I mean? So, like you
slow down.
You try to go in there and try to figure out what, from a postural standpoint and how they like to swing the club, what would be the best length for them. Yeah. Again, you start making longer golf clubs, things start getting a little wild.
Which is just crazy because everybody is so, what was the one? Was there like a DNA club or something like that?
I'm not going to do 4 inch.
Yeah. No, I don't disagree.
So not as tall as you thought you were, huh?
All right. You want to do a little intermission break, get some woods going?
Yeah.
I'll hit one more.
Let's do it.